Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott, and there is Dave. And hey, we have got a treat for you today. This one landed in our queue, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Love this movie. This is directed by Stephen Elliott and written by Stephen Elliott, starring Hugo Weaving, Guy Pearce, Terrence Stamp. Those are the big names. So Australian film, filmed in Australia, about some drag queens traveling to go across to the other side of the country to perform a show. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot more nuanced than that. And the story is much deeper than, hey, this is just a road trip. I thought this was just a road trip movie. But
it is, but it isn't. There's a little bit more going on than just, it's not your typical road trip.
I will say this before we get into anything further, is the opening scene with the song I've Never Been to Me sums up the whole story of this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought it was brilliantly done. It's like, wow. Anyway, I loved it, Dave. What was your thoughts?
Well, I don't know how long of a review this is going to be. We're going to have to stretch this out because I really did like this movie. Hugo Weaving.
Oh my God.
Guy Pearce, Terrence Stamp.
Three
guys that I would have never thought would have done this movie.
Oscar.
Hugo Weaving, Mr. Smith from The Matrix, the big head elf from Lord of the Rings, plus a million other things that he's been in.
V for Vendetta.
Guy Pearce, big character actor. You know, the Time Machine, The Man in the Iron Mask, the bad alien movies that I didn't like, but that was probably his worst movie. This he's really good in. Terrence Stamp. I've only known Terrence Stamp as a tough guy.
I know.
I know I've seen him in a comedy here and there, but for the most part, even then he was playing the heavy. I wasn't expecting his performance to be so nuanced.
My God.
Talk about I told Kat, his character is a bad drag queen, but his character out when they're not being the drag queens is a very compelling character. And I think they had him be a bad drag queen on purpose.
If you don't fall in love with Bernadette by the end of this movie, I really felt for her. And the B story there is the love story going on between Bernadette and Bob, which I thought was wonderful. And it was great. Bob with his mail order wife. Oh, holy shit.
It wasn't nothing. The great news about this movie, 1994, when they did a good movie, the writing was solid. And the writing
is so solid.
There is a moment, I don't want to say preachiness. It's not preachy at all. It's not like, oh, you have to do this and you have to think like this or you have to do that. That's not in here. It just has three compelling characters that you get involved with. You want to see them be better. I mean, even Guy Pearce's character, who's like the biggest flamer out of the three of them, you still want to see him become a better person. Yeah. And by the end of that movie, he's with that little boy hanging out.
His son, yeah.
And
not his son, but son, Tick's son, Hugo Weaving's son, yes, yeah.
And it's, they're friends. He actually likes the kid.
Yeah.
And at first he's trying to figure out, well, you know what your dad does, don't you? And the kid's like, yeah. He's the best. What did he say? He's the best. He's the best, not drag queen. He didn't call him a drag queen.
I forget what he called
something else.
Yeah.
And in the world. And the dad's like, yes, I am. You can see the kid likes the dad.
Yeah.
The kid's not even.
Well, and this is what it showed. Every character was very deep and had a lot of layers. Hugo Weaving's character, he's a straight man. For the most part, you really get that impression. He was once married, has a kid. We don't really know all the details exactly what went down, but we know that he's struggling with it. Hasn't even told his friends that he's a straight guy and everything. So,
well, see, I'm not even sure if
they alluded to him possibly bi or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, and the friends were almost insulted Like,
Because
what
he
do you
didn't share it
mean?
with him. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean? And the only one that what's funny is Guy Pearce was the character. He's trying to, he's trying to make fun of him, trying to do this, trying to do that.
Such an asshole, that character.
And Terrence Stamp's character is like really thinking about it. Like you see him taking it in. He's offended that he wasn't told, but he's also taking it in.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in his face. It's all in his gestures, the way he moves.
It's
and he's like,
great.
well, no, I understand why. I understand why you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I get it. And then they lock. I think that's the same night. They lock
him
Guy Pearce outside of the
out of the bus.
Priscilla, the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, the bus is named Priscilla Queen of the Desert, which is awesome.
What's funny is they have two running gags to this movie. One is literally a running gag. Yes. And the other one, I'm glad you told me to stick through the end credits.
Oh, yes.
I
forgot.
Maybe 10 seconds at the most.
Dude, I just had the TV going and I completely forgot. And I look up and said, oh.
It's so funny. It's worth going through all the credits. These three guys.
It was brilliant.
There's a story that Guy Pearce's character, and I'm sorry, folks, my eyes have been dilated. I can't read anything off the phone. But his character, they're all talking a little bit about how they found out who they were and what they were.
Oh, my God, his story.
His
I was
story
in tears.
looked like it was going to go in a direction I didn't want it to go.
I know. I was like, really? Are we going here?
Kent and I are looking at each other going, oh, man.
Really? Do we have to?
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be heartbreaking. This is going to be heart-crushing. Doesn't go the way you think it's going to go.
Which is good. It goes right down the drain.
But I sat there and thought, you know what? They're going to come back to visit this. They're going to come back and they're going to say that that's true, or that was the lie and something else was true. And I'm like, oh, God, I hope they don't do that. And I'm wondering if they showed this to people. They maybe had that other edit done. Like they're going to say, no, that was the lie. And this is what really happened. And people were probably like, no, it's better the other way. And it works perfectly with the way they ended it. Because he's just dying laughing. Like, he was there for 6 hours before me mom come home.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And it fits the character. It fits
perfectly.
Felicia. Yeah, it fits Felicia perfectly. Guy Pearce is wonderful. I mean, everybody in this, and it's just these stories that are going on. The relationship and chemistry between them is great. But seeing Guy Pearce and Terrence Stamp go at it back and forth, and it's just I love this humor. It's very sarcastic. It's very dark. Oh God, it's dark. It's dry, and it's my favorite comment. I just laughed so hard at a single word is when they walked into that hotel and it was all decked out with all the landscapes, and Bernadette just looks subtle.
Yeah,
it's like
drag queen. But the thing nobody wants to do with a good drag queen is get into a battle of wits. Like banter. That lady in the bar made the mistake. With Bernadette. And he's sitting at the bar and the lady comes in and starts giving him shit. We don't serve your kind. You're never going to get a drink here. Blah, blah. You're never going to do this. You're never going to do that. And he doesn't even take his eyes off the bartender after he's ordered his drink. And he says something to the effect of, well, you're never going to get laid. You're always going to be alone and you're never going to have a child or something.
Here's what he said. And I'm going to probably butcher it. But
good. I butchered it.
Light your tampon and blow your box apart is going to be the only bang you get tonight. Something along that line. And it's like, the whole bar blew up.
And they just died. They're like clapping. They're like patting him on the back and they're like buying him drinks.
Yeah,
and then,
it was great.
And then later on, him and that lady are having a drinking contest.
Yes.
And what did that remind you of?
It reminded me of a lot of things with the drinking contest, but I'm not sure what.
The first thing that came to my mind was Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones with what's her name in the bar with the
and at the bar, and I just started laughing, and that's how it went. That's the heroine slash hero wins the drinking contest.
This movie is very funny. It's
Oh God, yeah.
very it's very heartfelt because of the stories that are going are pretty deep.
Mhm.
Especially when you get to Bernadette and Tick. Both of their stories are
Mhm.
I mean, Felicia was humorous.
Yeah,
Let's
that was
talk
the
about.
comedy.
There was a lot of comedy.
Mhm.
That character was designed. It was extremely flamboyant,
Mhm.
extremely crazy, so obsessed with ABBA that he carries around Agnatha's poop in a jar. And that's not a joke, people. It's really
That
in the
was
movie.
fun. As soon as the guy picks up the jar, what's this?
I knew it. It's like, no, no,
Uh,
it's some poop. It's some poop. He
the,
said he
there's
followed her into the bathroom and she left that for him.
and he just and the great thing is Terrence Stamp's looking at it, he's like, you stole her shit? Like what? Why
Like,
would you do that? Like even Terrence Stamp in his craziest, weirdest moment is like, what is wrong with you?
oh, this movie's brilliant. I really loved it. Like you said, it's I don't know how much to talk about. It's just it hit every box for me. Great writing, compelling
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
Man, it just is a feel good movie. I love it.
When they leave Felicia, this is how good the writing is in this. Felicia's the humor. I mean, Felicia's absolutely the humorous character. Guy
Yes.
Pearce played that part great.
Oh my God.
But you have Hugo Weaving, Terrence Stamp at the diner. They're having dinner together. They leave Felicia at home because he's been naughty. He doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know how to act well
Oh,
around
does
normal
not know
people.
how to act.
You know, he
Felicia
like,
got
and they both
problems.
know it. They're like, you're going to stay home, watch cartoons. The adults are going to go out to eat. Well, meanwhile, they have this perfect shot, what I always consider a perfect shot.
Yes, it is. And
At
you
a
know it was
dining
coming.
room, at a dining table, one on one side, one on the other. They're talking. They're having a very deep moment. I mean, this is getting like they're both about ready to spill the beans of their entire life to one another. And then cut to the hotel room. Felicia has found a bag of pills and cocaine.
It does
Cut
not
back
end
to
well
them.
for Felicia.
Cut back to them talking. They're still talking. They're getting deeper. Cut back to Guy Pearce in drag walking into a video store. Cut back to the diner where they're at. They're at Hugo Weaving and
It's a
Terrence
great
Stamp.
setup.
They're getting deeper. Their conversation is getting even deeper. Then suddenly they do another cut, but they're back. And then the next cut is back to the diner. And in the background, you see you see Guy Pearce in full drag running past at top speed past these two, and then being chased by a bunch of guys.
A
And
bunch of
these two,
angry drunk guys
these
who
two have got their hands on each other's hands. They're about ready to just, their souls are just about ready.
yeah.
They both look out the window and they're like, Jesus Christ. Gotta get up and go save Felicia.
And and that just goes with the obvious. Felicia and Bernadette are not friends at all in this movie, but for some reason they tolerate each other, and I think secretly they do love each other. But
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just like, oh my God, and
I
it was so funny.
I took it that especially towards the end, that Bernadette was looking at Felicia like his son. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
this could I can mentor this
That
person.
was a
They made,
that whole
and I
was a
got
good
to figure out a
moment.
way to do it without them knowing it.
Yeah. And
Um,
I want to talk about that real quick, especially the way they set up Bernadette. At the very beginning, uh, this character finds out that somebody that she was in love with has died. Trumpet, some young boy or
trumpet,
whatever. So,
hornblower,
yeah. So we
hornblower,
just
trumpet, something like that. Yeah.
trumpet is what they call. Yeah. So it sets it up, and a lot of the conversations around Bernadette and Tick involve Bernadette never finding love and never
Right.
finding that. So
Never knowing how.
when it ends with somebody else who could never find love either.
Mhm.
Wow, what an unlikely couple that became.
exactly.
what it was, and it was Bob and Bernadette. I thought was touching. It was a neat moment that they laid the seeds early. This goes back to the writing. This I wasn't
And,
expecting to like this movie as much.
and none of it was beating you over the head.
It
That's
was
what I
a
love
movie
about
with a
the
good
writing
story.
in this. They're compelling characters, good writing, great writing. I would say great writing in this.
Great writing.
And like you, I wasn't expecting to like it this much. It had three really good actors in it that I just love. That
Yeah.
I couldn't picture it. I was trying to figure out, okay, this is either going to be just so full of camp
That's what I was
that I'm going to
expecting.
love it because I love camp,
Sure.
or it's going to be just something tried
Preachy.
and failed, maybe
Yeah.
cheeky. But this was camp, cheeky, tried, and it succeeded,
Yeah.
and it just kept succeeding for me. The greatest scene for me is Bernadette when those guys I'm guessing were going to try and rape Felicia, which we don't want to have sex with you, but we're going to rape you, whatever. And then Bob
Yeah.
steps in. He's like, yeah, you got to leave him alone. And they're like, well, we're going to do this to you too. And then Bernadette shows up, and the guy like turns around like, well, what are you going to do? Maybe you'll be next. Three knees to the nuts, man. That guy's not, you ain't getting up. If you're a guy, you understand. One knee, bad enough. Three times hard,
Yeah. Bernadette
downtown,
wasn't playing.
wham, wham, wham. Drops the guy, steps over him, goes to help Felicia. And then they're talking the next day. And Felicia asks a question. And he says, well, Felicia, I had to learn how to fight and defend myself. You would have been fine had you learned how to fight, or something to that effect. And it
Yeah.
was realized Bernadette has had to do.
Well, yeah, and let me add something that we didn't disclose at the beginning of the movie. Hugo Weaving's character Tick is a drag queen. They're all drag queens.
Right.
However, Bernadette's character is actually a transsexual.
Yeah,
so someone who has
the
transitioned from male
Yeah.
to female, originally named Ralph, and we see, that's like a hot
That's a whole
button
other
issue. That's a whole nother thing. Do not call Bernadette Ralph.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was showing so much. It was, dude, this movie is just it's a gem. It's a fucking gem.
It really is. This is one of those movies that I think I am going to buy. I'm going to get it on DVD or Blu-ray. If whatever I buy, I'm hoping that they have interviews and stuff.
Oh, I'd love to see some behind the scenes.
Because I would
and some
love to see
specials and
these
stuff.
guys. Because this is kind of early in Guy Pearce's career,
Mhm.
I think. It is probably fairly early in Hugo Weaving's, because I think 96 is whenever Lord of the Rings came out.
Yeah, I don't know when Matrix came out either. That was
I'm not sure when, but it ain't that guy. It ain't Mr. Smith. It ain't
no. This
Smith.
feels definitely before. He's got a different vibe about him.
Yeah.
It's these are real characters. This is just it. I at no point did I see anybody acting. I thought these were the people,
Right.
and that's what was so good about it. It's like, wow, I get.
Especially, sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, I was just gonna say this is one of those movies that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna watch an hour today. I'll watch an hour tomorrow.
Right.
And no, I couldn't stop. So
Yeah, exactly. I watched it straight through, and Kat and I were like, "Wow, that's a good movie."
it's a good
And
movie.
the laughs are absolutely hysterical laughs.
It's great. It's great.
When they hit you in the gut with something, it's never too freaking deep. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they don't go for the tear, although there was one time that I did start to tear up, like, oh my gosh.
There's some moments, but yeah.
But it was mostly just to get that emotion out of you, to show you these people, they need each other, and they need the city, they need where they lived, because they are completely out of their element. I mean, they are out of their element.
They were definitely out of their element in many ways.
The mail order bride from Bob is, I'm not going to give any of that away.
Yeah, we talked about
But
that earlier.
We both knew what was going to happen as soon as that cabinet opened.
Yes.
And I remember looking over at Kat, and she looked over at me, and she's like, they're not going to do that, are they? I said, I think so.
I
Sure
knew it.
enough, they
I was like,
did.
oh my God. I was like,
But
do I turn away?
that's just you couldn't turn away.
Oh,
But
she
it's
was
funny.
hilarious, dude. Hilarious.
God, she was funny. I think so too.
I was like,
But
oh.
Bob's character, he he was unexpected.
Yes.
He was very unexpected. And then whenever he talks about the lay boys in wherever country, whatever,
I
Thailand or
think he
wherever
said
he
in New
was at.
York or something.
Was it New York?
I
I didn't
thought that's
realize
what
it
he
was
had
there,
said. He was at, yeah.
but I remember thinking, oh, okay, that's odd thing for him to say. If you're a straight guy, even if you're trying to make somebody comfortable, it just felt kind of
Yeah.
weird. I was like, but oh, I mean, you can almost see him being attracted already.
He was.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you already, and you're like, he just doesn't know it. Like he doesn't
See,
realize
their
it yet.
chemistry was just great. It's like
My God, it was good. And the
it was so
acting was
good.
between Terrence Stamp and that guy. And I've seen that guy before, the guy who played Bob. I know
Yeah.
I've seen him in a million things.
It was wonderful. It
The
was
chemistry between them was great, and the acting, the subtlety between the two of them was really good.
mhm.
The whole characters in general were fantastic, but those two had because they were a little bit deeper. They were a little bit more was going on in their relationship
Yeah.
than
There's
the
a
other
lot.
three, whose just relationship was fabulous. Ta-da!
Yeah. 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 So,
But the running jokes,
yes, the runner.
God, the running joke was great.
Yes.
I half expected that one to show up again too.
I know. Just one more time.
Yeah, just at least one more time. Give me one more time. But I don't even know how to describe this movie. It is so much more than what I thought it was going to be. I love Tu Wong Fu.
Mhm.
I love that movie. This was, in my opinion, better than that. And I really liked that movie. It was right up there with The Birdcage, with the love and the tenderness between
Yeah.
the three main characters. So that was good. Oh no! The universe is split apart.
The universe has collapsed.
But
Well, on that note, yes, it's a wonderful movie.
yeah,
I will give my take while I rebuild my wall of universe. And yeah, this to me is a must see. I absolutely adore this movie. The acting, the writing, the cinematography, the soundtrack, all of it is good. It's gorgeous. It's fun. It's fabulous. Definitely check it out. Now, while I repair this tear in space and time, what's your take, Dave?
I'll give my take. I have to absolutely agree with that. The main characters all you're convinced that they are exactly what they appear to be.
Yes.
That's how good these actors are. Like Scott said, they're not acting. This isn't
It's them.
I mean,
it's
it is
them.
acting, but it's
Yeah.
not acting. Like you forget that you're watching a movie. You get invested in these people very quickly. And that is a sign of fantastic writing.
Yes.
And it's a
And
sign of a
acting.
really good director and cinematographer that can make that story pull out and bring that to heart on the film. Because sometimes you can have a great script and it gets lost because you have a bad director. This everything was good. The stars aligned. The gods all said, "Hey, let's make a good, drag queen movie," and they made a great one.
Yep.
And it's more than that. I hate to say that. It's like I was offended for them whenever the guy at the guy's Hugo Weaving's wife's hotel, when the guy says, "Yeah, the drag show's here," I was offended for them. Like, no, that's more than that.
Yeah.
They don't give a great drag show, but it's more than that.
No, it's that's just it. That the drag show is just to set the stage, and it makes very compelling characters. And this takes place in the early 90s in Australia, which is not much different from the Americas at the time, especially around the homophobia and AIDS of the late 80s or early 80s, 90s, all of this just discrimination and everything. So it was very much like them rolling through some rural backwoods place in the U.S. as they went through the outback.
all because he went off the highway.
But
Um,
but
but
they found those guys having a party, and that one
oh yeah,
guy
the
was just in
Aborigines
love
having
with
a
it.
party.
Yes, it
They
was
loved him.
wonderful.
The
Yes,
one guy was dressed up. They're like, "Oh, we
that
know
was
what we
great.
have to
It
do."
was great. A good moment.
But the funny thing is, even for it being the outback and the rural areas, they didn't run into as big of problems as I would have thought that they would have pushed.
I don't know.
Like
The painting of the
they were,
bus is pretty damn bad.
well,
So,
yeah, that was bad. But what I'm saying is, like, for the nowadays, everything would have been agenda driven.
mm,
The agenda, if any, in this movie took a back seat to telling a really good
right.
story, which is what we always talk about.
Yes.
Fuck your agenda, tell a good story. Something might come out of that naturally. Let that happen.
And that's exactly what happens here.
And that's
It
exactly what happens
actually
here.
gives you a message. It's no different than watching a Star Trek. Here it is. Boom.
Right.
Oh, well, look, I just got a message. Okay. Yeah. So,
And like the trailer said, the aliens from another world come down to Earth. You watch the trailer, and the trailer is the movie. It's fantastic.
yes.
The two of the best scenes cinematically for me is on the bus when Guy Pearce is on top of the bus in one scene, and then the next scene it's Hugo Weaving, but they're in
Yes.
these long gowns. They're on this big bus. Everything's trailing behind them. They got smoke bomb going off. It is such a great iconic scene. Like if I saw that scene and I had never saw this movie, I would have went Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. That's what that's from.
Hmm.
It's just a good movie, folks. If you like any of those actors or all of them,
Or if
watch.
you like good movies.
If you like good movies, like I said, I'm probably going to buy this because
This
it
is
is
great.
such a well-made movie. It is real, and it's probably fairly inexpensive. I mean, compared to what they got nowadays, especially.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. So it is definitely,
So I
there you go.
say watch it. Absolutely, watch
Absolutely.
it.
And that's it from Dave and I. Fabulous movie. Watch it.
Fabulous.
And stay fabulous by hitting the like, hit the share, hit the like, and the subscribe, and catch us on YouTube, Rumble, wherever the hell you can find your podcasts and stuff. We'll be there. So tune in next week. And thanks again for at least giving us a listen. Appreciate it.